She has heard it all before. Where are you from? What do you do? What are your hobbies? These are not questions. They are noise. They are the safe, predictable scripts of men who are terrified of tension. And because you ask safe questions, you get safe answers. You get the rehearsed version of her, the public relations statement, the mask, and you remain forgettable. Most men believe that to attract a woman, they must impress her with their achievements, their money, or their stories. But Machiavelli understood a darker, more fundamental truth about human nature. Power is not demonstrated by what you say. Power is demonstrated by what you can extract. The man who talks is trying to prove himself. The man who asks the right questions is in control. He is the investigator, the observer, the mirror. If you want to occupy her mind, if you want to become a thought she cannot get rid of, you must stop trying to be interesting. You must become interested in the parts of her she keeps hidden. In this video, I'm going to give you 9 questions. These are not pickup lines. They are psychological scalpels. They are designed to cut through the polite surface and touch the raw nerve of her emotional reality. Each question is a test, a trap, a doorway. They utilize principles of dark psychology, cognitive dissonance, shadow work, and the Zeigarnik effect to create a sense of intimacy that usually takes years to build. When you ask these questions, you're not just having a conversation. You are hacking the reward system of her brain. You are giving her the dopamine hit of being seen, truly seen, while simultaneously triggering the adrenaline of feeling exposed. But a warning, do not use these if you are not ready to handle what comes up. Because once you open these doors, you cannot close them. Once you see the chaos beneath her surface, you cannot pretend it isn't there. And there is a specific way to deliver them. If you rush, you will look like an interviewer. If you hesitate, you will look like a creep. You must deliver them with the cold detachment of a surgeon. Let's begin. Question 1. The adrenaline paradox. What is the most dangerous thing you have ever felt drawn to? Most interactions are boring. They are sterile. They are safe. The human brain, however, does not crave safety. It craves variance. It craves the spike of adrenaline. When you ask a woman what she does for a living, you are engaging her prefrontal cortex. Logic, routine, boredom. When you ask her about danger, you are speaking directly to her amygdala, the primal center of fear and excitement. Notice the wording. I did not ask, what is the most dangerous thing you have done? That is an interview question. It asks for a fact. What have you felt drawn to? Asks for a desire. It asks about the temptation, not the action. We all have a shadow, a part of us that wants to break the rules, that wants to touch the fire. Women are conditioned by society to suppress this side, to be good, to be polite, to be careful. By asking this, you are silently communicating. I am not afraid of your darkness. In fact, I am the only one who can handle it. The Machiavellian angle, you are positioning yourself as a non-judgmental observer. You are inviting her to confess. When she answers, maybe it was a toxic ex, maybe it was driving too fast, maybe it was a chaotic situation. Do not judge. Do not save her. Just listen. Lean back, look her in the eyes, and say, I can see that in you. Now, you are no longer the safe option. You are the accomplice. Question 2. The persona breach. What is the version of yourself you show the world to protect the real you? This is a direct attack on the ego. Everyone wears a mask. Machiavelli wrote extensively about the necessity of the mask in public life, but the mask is heavy. It is exhausting to carry. Most men fall in love with the mask. They compliment the mask. You're so nice. You're so happy. You're so strong. This bores her, because she knows it is a lie. When you ask this question, you're doing something radical. You're acknowledging the performance. You're telling her, I know this isn't all you are. I know you're acting. It creates immediate relief. Finally, she can put the weight down. She might say, I act like I have it all together, but I'm a mess. Or, I act tough, but I'm sensitive. The trap. Once she tells you what the mask is, she can never wear it around you again. You have stripped her of her armor. She is now vulnerable to you. And vulnerability, when met with acceptance, creates rapid attachment. She will feel exposed. Good. In that exposure, she bonds to the person who saw through the lie. You become the only person she doesn't have to perform for. And that is an addictive kind of freedom. Question 3. The unspoken desire. What is a desire you have never admitted out loud because you are afraid of being judged? This goes deeper than danger. This goes to shame. Shame is the most powerful silencer in the human psyche. We all have things we want, sexually, emotionally, professionally, that we think are wrong. By asking this, you are establishing the frame of the confessor. In religious history, the priest holds power because he knows the secrets of the village. He holds the shame. You are taking that role. The delivery. You cannot ask this early. You must wait until the air is thick. You must wait until there is silence. And you must lower your voice. The tone must be flat, calm. If you sound excited, you sound like a pervert. If you sound calm, you sound like a psychologist. When she answers, she's handing you a weapon. She is giving you the map to her satisfaction. Most men guess what a woman wants. They try to mind read. and they fail. The Machiavellian man simply asks, extracts the information, and then uses it to give her exactly what she craves, or to withhold it. If she hesitates, if she says, I can't tell you, do not push. Smile and say, you don't have to tell me. The fact that you're hesitating tells me it's exactly the kind of thing we should be talking about. Leave it there. Let her imagination torture her. Question 4. The nostalgia of pain. What is a memory that still haunts you? Not because it was sad, but because it was intense. Happiness is forgettable. Peace is forgettable. Intensity is eternal. The human brain prioritizes high arousal memories. We remember the times we were terrified, ecstatic, or devastated. Most men try to be the nice guy. They want to talk about happy things. They want to make her smile. But you don't want to just make her smile. You want to make her feel. When you ask about a haunting memory, you are reactivating the neural pathways of intensity. You are dragging the past into the present. As she tells the story, maybe it was a breakup, a risk she took, a moment of passion, her body relives the chemicals. Her heart rate elevates, her pupils dilate, and because you are the one sitting in front of her while she feels this, her brain begins to associate that intensity with you. It is a psychological transfer. She confuses the arousal of the memory with the arousal of your presence. The twist. You're not asking about trauma to heal her. You're not her therapist. You're asking to understand her threshold for intensity. Does she run from it, or does she chase it? If she answers with a story about chaos, you know she gets bored by stability. Adjust your strategy accordingly. Question 5. The intuition test. What is your intuition telling you about me right now before your logic tries to change it? This is the most aggressive question on the list. It forces a confrontation. It breaks the fourth wall. Usually dating is two people pretending they aren't assessing each other. So, do you like sushi? Yeah, sushi is great. Subtext. Are you a threat? Are you a provider? Do I want to sleep with you? This question drags the subtext into the light. It demands she looks at you. Not at your resume, not at your clothes. At you. Women pride themselves on their intuition. They believe they can read people. By asking this, you are challenging her. Go ahead. Read me. Why it drives her crazy. It forces her to verbalize her attraction or her suspicion. If she says, my intuition says you're trouble, you smile and say, your intuition is sharp. If she says, my intuition says you're safe, you look away and say, don't be so sure. You're playing with certainty. The Machiavellian method relies on ambiguity. Never let her be 100% sure of who you are. If she thinks she has you figured out, she loses interest. This question proves you are aware of the game, and that you are not afraid of her judgment. Question 6. The existential void. When do you feel most alone, even when you are in a crowded room? Now we go dark. This question targets the existential isolation that every human feels. We live in a hyper-connected world, yet we are more lonely than ever. She has followers. She has friends. She has attention. But deep down there is a void, a place where she feels no one can reach her. When you ask this, you are separating yourself from the crowd. The crowd is the noise. You are the signal. You are touching the wound. The strategy. This creates a us versus the world dynamic. When she admits to that feeling of isolation, she is admitting that the world doesn't satisfy her. You become the sanctuary. You become the one person who understands the emptiness. Do not offer a solution. Do not say, oh, you should go out more. Validate the void. I know that feeling. It's like everyone is speaking a language you don't understand. Now, you are allies. You have created a secret pact. Intimacy is not just sharing joy. The deepest intimacy comes from sharing pain. Question 7. The rule breaker. If you knew there would be no consequences, what is the first rule you would break right now? We return to the shadow. Civilization is built on repression. Freud taught us this. We repress our instincts to fit into society. This question removes the consequences. It creates a hypothetical sandbox for her ID. Does she want to steal? Does she want to scream? Does she want to kiss you? Does she want to leave her job? Her answer tells you exactly what she is suppressing. If she says something small, like, I'd eat dessert first, she is still guarded. She is still playing the good girl. If she looks you in the eye and says something illegal, immoral, or carnal, you have found a woman who is ready for chaos. The implication? By asking, right now, you bring the tension into the present moment. You're not asking about a theoretical future. You're asking about the energy between you two. It opens the door for sexual tension without being explicit. If she says, I'd stop talking and do something else, the game is over. You have won. Question 8. The judgment of the self. What is the one thing you think would make me run away if I knew it about you? This is the ultimate test of acceptance. Everyone has a monster in the basement, a secret, a habit, a past event that they believe makes them unlovable. They spend their dating lives hiding this monster. You are asking to see it. You are calling the bluff. Show me the thing that scares people away. Why this creates obsession. If she tells you and you do not run, you become immortal to her. You break the cycle of rejection she fears. If she refuses to tell you, it creates a mystery. I'll tell you one day, but not yet. Now, there's a future loop. She has to see you again to reveal the secret. She has to keep interacting with you to resolve the tension. Machiavellian note: use this information carefully. Knowledge is leverage. When you know what she fears will make you leave, you know exactly what holds the relationship together. You hold the key to her insecurity. Never mock it. Never use it in a fight. Just hold it. The weight of it is enough. Question 9. The silence. The 9th question is not a question. It is the absence of one. In every conversation, there is a rhythm. Talk, listen, talk, listen. It is a tennis match. To drive her crazy, you must break the rhythm. You must stop returning the ball. After she answers one of the deep questions above, do not rush to the next one. Do not rush to relate. Just look at her, hold the gaze, let the silence stretch until it becomes uncomfortable. Most men panic in silence. They fill it with nervous laughter or chatter. The powerful man rests in silence. In that silence, she will start to project. She will wonder, what is he thinking? Did I say too much? Does he like me? Is he judging me? Her mind will spin 1,000 webs, and you are at the center of all of them. Silence is the canvas where she paints her obsession. If you speak, you define the moment. If you stay silent, the moment becomes infinite. When you finally break the silence, speak slowly. You are not what I expected. And leave it at that. Why do these questions work? Why do they create addiction? Because we are starving for depth. We live in the era of the swipe, the 15-second video, the surface-level interaction. We are drowning in data, but starving for connection. When you ask these questions, you are offering water in a desert. But it is not free water. It comes at a price. The price is her vulnerability. You are applying the sunk cost fallacy to her emotions. The more she reveals to you, the more she invests in you. The more secrets she hands over, the harder it is for her to walk away. She has given you parts of herself she hasn't given to the man she's dated for 3 years. Logic tells her, I must trust him, otherwise, why would I have told him all this? You are reverse engineering trust. Usually, trust leads to vulnerability. Here, you're extracting vulnerability to manufacture trust. It is manipulative, perhaps. Is it effective? Undeniably. But you must possess the frame to hold these answers. If you ask these questions with a trembling voice, seeking approval, you will look like a child asking for reassurance. You must ask them from the position of the throne. You are the king granting an audience. You are the judge hearing the confession. You are grounded. You are unshakable. If she cries, you hand her a tissue, but you do not panic. If she gets angry, you stay calm. If she laughs nervously, you wait until she stops. You are the rock against which her waves crash. That is what drives a woman crazy, not the questions themselves, but the man who has the courage to ask them and the strength to handle the answers. You now have the keys. You have the words that can unlock the mind. But words are only the beginning. The real control happens when you stop speaking, when you learn to communicate with your eyes, your presence, your absence. These questions are the spark. But can you handle the fire? Most men will watch this video, nod, and go back to asking, so how was your day? They choose safety, and they choose invisibility. Do not be most men. Be the outlier. Be the glitch in her matrix. Be the question she cannot answer. If you're ready to leave the surface and dwell in the deep, click subscribe. We are building a brotherhood of the awake. The shadows are not empty. They are full of power. I will see you there.